Well, joining us now on the program is Mr. Brian Cox. Brian's the CEO of SURG Holdings Incorporated. SURG is a stock symbol. Great to have you back on the program, Brian.
Hey, Don, thanks for having me back. Look forward to talking to you.
Well, you guys put on a great press release this week. Revenues were up 400%. What can you tell us about that?
First quarter was a pretty good quarter for us, obviously, based on numbers. There's a lot of things that we've been working on this year. And to be able to see that type of revenue growth while you're still developing and still working on your short and long-term goals is rewarding. The ECS acquisition obviously contributed a lot to it. The media side of the company that Carter Matzinger runs had a phenomenal first quarter. So while a couple of the other subsidiaries are developing, we're launching a new MVNO on the wireless side, and we've got a lot of software integration going on the ECS side. It was a pretty fantastic first quarter, all things considered, absolutely.
Now, how's this COVID-19 thing with stay-at-home orders affecting the company?
Well, it's unique. It's the benefits of being a technology-based company and also being run by former entrepreneurs that all had to adapt and that all made it in the world by getting up and, dusting off our pants and keep fighting and going at it. That's helped a lot because we haven't really had a make excuse mentality here at SURG. We've had more of a let's figure out how to get this done mentality. So, for example, our sales guys obviously were limited legally and physically, depending on the states they lived in, on their ability to get out and talk to stores, to sell phones, to interact with people. So they've been using other methods to sell. And we also use that time to spend more time on listening to feedback, to developing new wireless products and working to better some of the things in our back office and refine some of the tools that we're going to use. So for example, like right now, as things start to clear up, especially in the red states, let's call it what it is, some of the red states in the Southeast, we're going around without masks and going to restaurants and what have you. Well, our guys are selling. And as this moves throughout the country, we'll be able to roll out with these new plans, these new wireless plans, some of these new technologies that we've built into our sales systems to be able to go. And we should see a pretty significant spike in sales over the next 2 quarters.
But you got a great sales team. Now, speaking of team, you've added a new CFO. Tell us about that.
Man, having a CFO like Tony has been life-changing for us at SURG. Number one, just having a guy that's dealt with the types of people and the types of banks and the types of infrastructure that we're going to need to deal with once we get on NASDAQ, having that experience already has really been beneficial because he's already getting us prepared now with the little things that we would have to clean up and fine tune later. For example, one of the big things that he's leading right now was one of my directives for our company. We had a lot of subsidiaries. Things were a little bit scattered because you're hustling. You're just trying to get things done. You're trying to make money. You're trying to grow. But to get to where we wanted to go, we needed things to be in 3 categories. We've got our media category, which is the legacy company. We've got the fintech side, which is our transactional software that is our marketplace at the stores that does all of our distribution of products and aggregating the money. And then you've got our telecom side, which is our wireless MVNO, the launch of Local Rabbit, and the other telecom products that we are rolling out to the market. So that way we've got these 3 unique categories. And also we can have the models built in where we can look for acquisitions and roll-ups in each one of those categories and keep our sectors organized and everything moving forward. Well, I don't want to sound too complicated, but there's a lot of synergies that we have, such as accounting, legal, and otherwise, that are shared across subsidiaries. But then there's other specifics that are siloed. So for these to be organized like that in 3 categories and move forward with that mentality and the organization, and then knowing that I can go fight on the front lines of battle while everything is good in finance and orchestrated great in the back office, it's really a moment of peace for me. Man, I couldn't be happier to have Tony on the team.
Well, 2020 is going to go down in history as a fascinating time to be alive. Can you give me some perspective on that, like maybe outlooks of both short and long term? 2020
is definitely unique, Don. I tell you what, across the board, good, bad, and ugly. From all the things that are going on around us, definitely don't have time to speak about that right now. But what I can do is speak about SURG. We are accomplishing and executing exactly according to plan. There were some things we wanted to do after, it was good timing on the question, after Tony, the CFO, came on. There was some cleaning up of the balance sheet. And by cleaning, I mean having our assets shift higher than the liabilities and some of the other prep work that we need to do to get approved for NASDAQ. Give you a great example. This week, we just eliminated $4 million in debt off our balance sheet liabilities. It's a big week for us. We've been working on this for months. We did it. We accomplished that. That's a huge boost. Now we've got a couple of other things that we're going to work on. We're looking and evaluating a couple of independent board members and a few other things. And then we want to pull the trigger with the right bank. It's not really a question of whether we could go, it's when to go and how to go with minimal dilution to the existing legacy shareholders. So this year's going to be really interesting for us. We're talking right now with a couple of the leading handset distributors in the country for prepaid wireless companies. Our local Rabbit product, and I know I haven't talked to you about this, but just 10 seconds on that. We took the millions and millions of dollars of transactions from the analytics of ECS, which is where customers go and do top-ups at the convenience stores. And we took those and we developed plans and phone combos specifically for what the market was using. Not trying to force anything on the market. We're just all the low-lying fruit. What are customers already using? Since we own the MVNO and we own the software that does the transaction, hey, let's undercut the price for the customer. Let's give the store owner a few more points of commission for the transaction, and let's go to town. Low-lying fruit. Let's put our marketing budget into paying the store owners. Let them be our salespeople. So that's going to be phenomenal for us. The media side with Carter, he's doing fantastic. There's a lot of upside. The COVID is, attorneys are spending more for leads now. Everything's getting back a little bit more to normal. People are loosening up their wallets and their billfolds on the spending, on the marketing media side. We've got a lot of exciting stuff going. So, and to your point, I've gotten a lot of questions through text messages or LinkedIn or email. People haven't seen me a whole lot the last couple of months. And look, I'm a fighter. I'm a frontline guy. When we hit this MVNO, I consider myself one of the foremost experts in prepaid wireless. I wasn't able to use my skill set if I'm out tooting our own horn and beating the drum all the time. So we've been dug in 7 days a week, working all the way back from the carrier side, the software side, the operational side, down at our ops center, setting everything up. There's so many things that go into being able to hang a cell phone on a peg hook at a convenience store, having a customer pay that convenience store owner, open that phone up, activate it, it works. We're getting paid, store owners getting paid, all the money, all the carriers, everything that goes into that. That's why a lot of the companies and MVNOs that just go out and throw a bunch of money at this, it doesn't work out for them. We took our 15 years of experience in wireless, doing it right, already been through the launch, all of our connections, like the expendables. We've called in all kinds of favors. We've leveraged our buying power for our contracts on phones. We've got some pretty unique, interesting news coming out in the next couple of weeks of how we accomplish one of these goals. So I'm excited to maybe talk to you in a couple of weeks about that. But hey, we put it all together. We're there. So, hey, we're looking forward to it. 2020, while definitely a unique and crazy year, we're trying to, from a financial perspective, make it crazy fun for SURG and those of us who are on the ride with us.
Once again, SURG Holdings Incorporated, SURG. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Don, thanks for having me. I look forward to being back.